On February 16, 2022, 33-year-old Jared Bridegan was driving home in Jacksonville Beach, Florida, after dropping off his two older children at his ex-wife's house. It was a routine exchange, a custody handoff. He strapped his 2-year-old daughter into the back seat of his vehicle and began driving away. Minutes later, he would be dead. As Jared drove down a quiet residential road, he encountered what appeared to be a random obstacle, a tire placed directly in the middle of the street. He slowed down. He stopped. He stepped out of the vehicle to move it. That's when someone shot him multiple times at close range. His toddler daughter was still strapped inside the car. She was unharmed. The shooter fled. It looked like a calculated ambush. Police quickly determined this was not random. The tire was not debris. It was placed deliberately. Someone had planned for Jared to stop at that exact location. Someone knew his route. Someone knew his schedule. And someone wanted him dead. Jared Bridegan was a Microsoft executive, a father of 4, and a man rebuilding his life after a contentious divorce. He had previously been married to Shauna Gardner. The two shared twin children. Their divorce was reportedly difficult, and custody disagreements had been ongoing for years. After the divorce, Jared remarried. He and his new wife, Kirsten, had 2 children together. By all accounts, Jared was focused on his family and career. So why was he executed in a quiet neighborhood? The investigation would eventually take a dramatic turn. Initially, police released few details. They asked for surveillance footage from nearby homes. They interviewed neighbors. They followed digital trails. They publicly stated the killing appeared targeted. As months passed, suspicions began to focus closer to home. Investigators began examining Jared's personal relationships, phone records, financial records, communication patterns. Eventually, law enforcement announced arrests. In early 2023, a man named Henry Tenen was arrested and charged in connection with Jared's murder. Prosecutors alleged that Tenen was the shooter, but that was not the end. Authorities later arrested Mario Fernandez, the estranged husband of Jared's ex-wife at the time of the shooting. Prosecutors alleged that this was not a random act of violence, but a murder-for-hire plot. According to court filings, investigators believe that Fernandez hired Tenen to carry out the killing. And the motive? Allegedly rooted in custody disputes, resentment, and escalating tensions. Later, Jared's ex-wife, Shauna Gardner, was also arrested and charged in connection with the murder. Prosecutors have alleged conspiracy and financial coordination surrounding the crime. The case shocked the country. What initially appeared to be a random roadside shooting now looked like a carefully planned execution involving people close to Jared's life. The prosecution alleges that Tenen was paid to ambush Jared. The tire was placed intentionally to force him out of the vehicle. The location was chosen because it was predictable. Jared drove that route regularly after custody exchanges. The fact that his toddler was in the back seat makes the crime even more chilling. This was not a robbery. Nothing was stolen. There was no confrontation. There were no warning signs. It was a setup. As the case moves through the courts, defense attorneys maintain their client's innocence. Charges have been filed, but trials are still unfolding. Legal arguments continue. The complexity of the case lies not just in the act itself, but in the alleged planning. Who communicated with whom? Who transferred money? Who knew the schedule? Who placed the tire? The idea that a custody dispute could escalate into a coordinated murder-for-hire plot is what makes this case so disturbing. Behind the headlines is a father who stepped out of his car to move what he thought was road debris and was executed for it. Investigators have described the crime as calculated and deliberate. The image of a toddler strapped in the back seat while her father was shot just feet away is something that has stayed with many people following the case. Court documents have revealed allegations of financial transactions and coordination between the accused individuals. But until trials conclude, the full legal picture remains in progress. Jared's widow, Jared Bridegan, has spoken publicly about the devastation of losing her husband and the trauma left behind for their children. She has advocated for justice, transparency, and protection for families caught in domestic disputes that escalate dangerously. The case continues to unfold in the legal system. What is known as this: a tire was placed in the road. Jared stopped to move it. He was shot. His child was inside the vehicle. Multiple individuals have been charged. The alleged motive centers around personal conflict and custody tensions. The broader question remains: how do interpersonal conflicts escalate into something this extreme? As court proceedings continue, more details may emerge about communications, planning, and alleged coordination. For now, the case stands as one of the most shocking recent murder-for-hire allegations in the United States,